Welcome to Blue Compass, where we are sharing 10 ways that you can promote your new website's launch. So you've taken the time and effort and budget to launch a great new website. It looks fantastic. It's a huge improvement over the old site. The last thing you want to do is just let it sit there and not use this opportunity to market it. So with me today is Kevin, one of our digital marketing team members, and Kevin has a lot of great experience with launching websites, of doing digital marketing for these sites. And so we've come up with some great ideas for you. So number one is to announce the website via your email newsletter. Really low-hanging fruit here, send out a newsletter.
Yeah, this is a great way to create excitement, not only before you launch your new website, but as you get closer to that launch date, and even after you launch it, you can still bring it up and help users be in the know of what changes were made. The biggest differences can be highlighted within your emails, things to help them learn about the launch, prepare for it, and even give them some tips on how to use the new website when it does launch. So yeah, Drip Campaign is definitely a great way to keep an audience engaged throughout the entire process.
Yep.
Our second way to launch your new website is with an alert on your current website. This can be in the form of a banner at the top of your web pages, or even a countdown that lives on the homepage. The number one user that's going to be coming to your website is current customers, the people who are going to be there the most, aside from your internal team. So this is just a way to ensure that they get the news, and it gives them something to reference back to keep to always be in the know of when that date is coming, so they don't forget it.
Yeah, and what I like about this too, I don't see a lot of companies doing this, but what I like about this too, Kevin, is that it gives people a heads up. And sometimes people don't like to be surprised. If you have a website where you have audience that's somewhat loyal, that they're coming to the website somewhat frequently, this is a fantastic way to just give them a heads up. Hey, things are going to look a little different when you come here next week. And it builds a little excitement. It lets people know. And if you have an audience that's loyal enough, it makes them curious enough to come check it out when you do launch it next Tuesday. All right. Number 3 is to reach out directly and encourage people to explore your new website. So whether it's family or friends or colleagues or whoever that might be, this is kind of an old school way to do it, but tell them in person, give them a call, send them a text, shoot them an email, but try to get people that to go check out the website. And if you can connect with people that love your brand, it's a great way to get more visitors to the site, get them to experience, but it's also kind of a good way to get some feedback on your website, and they can tell you maybe what they like or they don't like. A simple way to do it, but can be really beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. Giving people the opportunity to explore your website is going to give you that crucial feedback that's going to help you make those important tweaks or changes as you do approach that launch date. It's a great way to also just help them kind of familiarize themselves with the new look, the new design, and the new user experience overall. So
I feel like that leads into number 4.
Yes, definitely. Our fourth tip is ask team members to help spread the word.
If you do a social post, if your brand does a social post that says, hey, check out our new website, sometimes it's even more meaningful if one of your team members does that.
Yes.
Because it's, it's a little less direct, and it's almost like a bit of a testimonial. So yeah, if your team members can be cheerleaders for your brands. I mean, we all want to be cheerleaders for the companies that we work for. That's ideal. And if your team members can be cheerleaders from your brand and say, hey, I love the new website, we just launched it, like that's really meaningful, and their family and friends see that. And if a number of your team members do that, that can actually have really substantial reach.
Yep. And I want to add that your team members are going to be the experts on your website and what it's used for. So when they're spreading the news, they can also kind of act as a guide to, again, help users learn about the major changes, where to find things that might have moved from the current site into the new design. So
sure, absolutely. All right. Number 5 is to launch online ad campaigns, whether it's Google ads or display ads or whatever that might be. Now that you have this new website, it's really a great time to consider getting some of those campaigns running again. And it's probably not a good idea to create a campaign just to say, hey, we have a new website. that doesn't add a lot of value to the user probably. But if you have done Google Ads in the past and they've worked fine for you, why not, retool those a bit and try again? Because ideally, I mean, if you have a new website, you can build some great landing pages. If you have new content, it should be all the more successful. And users should have a better experience now when they get to your website than they did a year ago on your old website.
Yeah, and it's also a great way to help Google learn about your web pages and the new content that lives on them. Because when you run ads through Google, that's what they're doing. They're crawling your page and they're trying to deliver, the best answer to a user's search. So that's a great way to just get your pages out there and tell Google, hey, we have a new look, we have new content, things like that.
Yeah, and I mean, really, anything you can do to get, good audience to your website during this time is positive. I mean, assuming you have a good new website, then people are going to have a good experience on it. They can find valuable content, and Google watches how people interact with your website. And if they start to see more people come to the website, if they see people spending more time on the pages, they're more engaged on the website than they used to be, that can be a really powerful signal to send Google. And indirectly, it can improve your search engine optimization and make the whole thing more effective.
Number 6, create a blog article telling the story of the new website launch experience. I love this one. Mm-hmm. This is a great way to help users feel like they're a part of this process. We've launched a lot of websites in the past, and it's never the same from start to finish. There's always some hiccups in some cases, some exciting findings, new learnings, things like that. So this is an opportunity to tell that story, maybe talk about how did you come to deciding you needed a new website design, what did the process look like, how did you come to make some of the decisions you made. It's just a great way to help users be in the know and feel like they're more familiar with your company and feel like they're a part of it.
Your website tells a story, and how it came to be is a story in and of itself. So it's such a great opportunity to tell a little bit about the process. At Blue Compass, we have saved the homepage designs from all of our websites over the past 16 years. So here's a few of those designs, as you can see now, and it's been quite an evolution over the years. And people, like to see stuff like this. I mean, if you have a few versions of your website that, from the past, if you want to show the evolution of your website, how you got to where you are now, a blog article is really an interesting place to tell a story.
Yeah, as a team member here, I know it was always exciting to see the evolution of Blue Compass's website. So it's also a great way to get your team involved and show them that evolution.
Yeah.
And that growth. Yeah.
And you do a blog article, this is a great place to give some shout outs. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the web design and development company you work with, but certainly some of your internal team members. You probably have a main person internally who spent a lot of time and effort on this. Maybe some people internally have written content. It's a great opportunity to give them a shout out as well. And that leads us to number 7, showcase the new website with a video. So this is really similar to the blog article, just in video form. And again, this is a great way to tell the story of how this website came to be, but maybe some quick interviews, some headshots of some of your internal team members talking about why this was needed, sharing what extra value came about. Sometimes this is difficult to get, but if you had some time lapse and footage of the homepage being designed, that would be really cool. That would make for some great video. So the video is another good way to do this.
Number 8, social post announcements. Social media is a great way to reach your current audience, but also new ones. I think along with the email newsletter, social media helps you keep that excitement from start to finish throughout the whole website launch process. So whether you're posting, screenshots of the new website, screen recordings, it gives a chance to attach really fun and engaging copy to it. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, and social posts, I suppose, go without saying, but you're right. I mean, this is a fairly easy way to get the word out. Mm-hmm. And again, just like with the newsletters, I mean, you don't have to do just one post. you can do a post or two leading up to, and then a post announcing it. If you're on a platform like Twitter, I mean, you can do numerous posts about your new website. So great opportunity to do so.
Yep.
Number 9 is to get creative. Okay, so this one's a little more random and ethereal, but if you're going to launch a new website, you don't have to do traditional methods to get the word out about it. You can really be creative. And so what are some unique ways you can tell your audience about this awesome new web experience they can go to? There's so many options. One option is maybe you come up with a scavenger hunt of sorts on your website. What if you did a blog article and a social post and you said, hey, we just launched our new website. We have hidden 5 different images of our mascot or something fun on our website. The first person that can give us the URL for each of the pages that these are found on is going to win something. So anything like that to just create a little interest, to be different, to be creative. There's a lot of clutter out there, and so anything you can do to be unique and creative really helps you stand out.
Number 10, watch how your audience responds and capitalize on it. You've worked so hard to get to the point of launching your new website. You finally launched it successfully, but this is like the beginning of the most important part of the process, because now you can analyze how users are actually navigating your website, and you can get that feedback. And shortly after launch, you can make those tweaks to kind of perfect it.
Yeah. So often, we'll see a website launch and it's easy just to forget about it and move on. But this is such an opportunity to capitalize on everything you've built. Take a look at the Google Analytics or whatever analytics you use. See what pages are working, which aren't. What page are people leaving on? What pages are people spending the most time and engagement on? Yeah. Great opportunity to understand what's working and what's not about your new website. And ideally, you use this information to help the website grow, get the word out about it, continue to boost your search engine optimization, make things better. We always say that a website is kind of like a focus group of dozens or hundreds or thousands of people every day. I mean, there's so much opportunity in that data that you get every day in your analytics program that you can use to make your website more useful for your audience, but also more effective for your brand as well.
Yep, there are plenty of different types of users who are going to be using your website in different ways. So this is where you can kind of hone in on your own strategy, your content strategy, your marketing strategy. Where is your website going to bring the most value for your users and for your company? Yeah.
Well, one of the things we did, for instance, on our website the other day is we went through and we looked at all of the blog articles on our website. And we've been writing blog articles for 16 years. I mean, there's hundreds of them. And some of them perform absolutely outstanding. They get thousands and thousands of views a month. And some of them that we've written years ago will get like 10 views a year, which isn't very much. So we went through and we're cleaning out some of those old articles that just aren't providing a lot of values to users or to us. So that's an example of how you can really use those analytics to make your website more effective. And when we clean those out, or if we optimize those and make some of those better and change those, it just makes the experience better overall for our audience.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard that, but for about 10 years now, after launching however many new versions of our website, we are still analyzing these things and we are still making changes based on what we're finding. So this is going to be something that's important as long as your website exists, really.
Yeah, sometimes we look at a website and we're like, oh, we need to relaunch a new website. We need to redesign our website every 3 years or whatever that might be. But you're right, you launch a website, your work isn't done. Ideally, you monitor it and you optimize it, and it evolves and gets better and better over time. Yep. Well, we hope that was useful for you. If we can help you with your website, we design and develop hundreds and hundreds of websites that have been very successful. Reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to give you a hand. Thanks, and we'll talk to you next time.